Welcome to Malaysia. This is our first time in Malaysia. We're here in Penang. We arrived last night coming up from Singapore. This morning we went and traipsed around a market that you would have just seen, and now we're in Georgetown. The lighting's looking great. We're going to go and explore. I'm shooting with my Fujifilm X100F today, and Elly, you are shooting with your X-E3. Yeah. First up, let's get a SIM card because we do not have data whilst we're here, so we don't really know where we're going. Alright, SIM cards picked up, and we went for the larger option, which was 10 gigabytes for a period of, I think, 3 months or something. But knowing us, we'll probably eat through that quite quickly because we post a lot to Instagram stories and all sorts. And then as soon as we activated the SIM card, she was like, oh, you can choose your free unlimited data option. Do you want Instagram? So now we got 10 gigabytes that we may not use at all. Oh well, but to be honest, we could probably use it for tethering because the internet is somewhat questionable in places. But anyway, this area is so like photogenic already, by the way. I am loving it. There's like texture on the walls, but there's color about, there's great lighting, there's just alleyways that catch your attention. It's everything that I love about Asia summed up in one location. We're a bit bright, sorry about that. Yeah, so my first impressions of Malaysia so far, I'm loving it. Really, really cool. It's everything that I expected it to be. So I'm shooting with the Fujifilm X100F. I'm shooting an aperture of around f4, potentially even lower sometimes. I got an ISO of auto and my shutter speed is auto. Now one thing that I am doing, because it's so bright, is I'm doing the ND filter on, which just knocks off a few stops and means that I can shoot at much larger apertures in this bright, bright sunlight. And this lens hood, because I know so many people are going to ask about this, this is a JJC square lens hood. It's linked in the description below. And the reason it's square is because your sensor is square, so you get great coverage with it.
People are going to ask about your strap too.
Oh yeah, and for those of you who are going to ask about the strap, this is the green, what's it called? It's the cord strap, I think it is, from DSPTCH. I picked this up in Tokyo, which you may have seen in another video that I'll link up here. You can get them in San Francisco because that's where they're from. And that is my setup for the day. That is so cool. I love how it just blends in with the texture. So already walking around Georgetown, I am loving the street art and the sort of creative vibe that we've got going on. It's actually really reminiscent of Bali. Just seeing artwork just blending in with the textures is so cool. No offense to Singapore, but I am so inspired right now within just an hour of being here compared to the past couple of days we spent in Singapore. I think I just love that sort of rawness to things. And I don't know, there's just a lot of character. I love it. She is so pretty. It's like Phoebe, but grey. We wandered across now to Little India, and what I'm loving about these areas and the streets that we're walking on is you can literally just explore any direction. These are this is the epitome of the exact type of street shooting that I love doing, is going to an area where everything is just photogenic. Everything that you can look at catches your eye in some way and you want to frame it, you know, just to capture that scene. And when you see all of the images together, as we will post them on the blog, you just kind of see like the whole story as a whole. Yeah, I love these types of areas. And Little India, of course, smells amazing. The food smells great. Penang is known internationally for its amazing food. Still yet to go to India. I will, one day. One day I will go to real India. But yeah, this is kind of cool. We got a mix of cultures everywhere. I love it. Probably gonna say that a lot this whole week. And I'm also probably gonna make multiple vlogs whilst we're in Penang for this week, and then hopefully when we're in Kuala Lumpur next week. By the time you're watching this though, unfortunately we would have probably left, because it always takes a while to edit these and get them published. So I found myself just walking around, and I'm shooting a lot into either directly into the light, or I'm catching the complete opposite side where light's shining on things and you've got shadows kind of like blocking and covering certain areas of a scene. But one thing that I've found myself doing a lot is I'm capturing something that I think is kind of like an interesting frame, and I'm getting it clean, and then I'm getting the same shot but with a bike going past, just because the bikes really sort of set the scene of everything to do with this place. You hear them everywhere, you see them everywhere, and I'm just kind of doubling up on my shots everywhere. So it's kind of an interesting vibe going on. Also getting quite a lot of people looking at me because I've obviously got a camera pointing at myself, and they're like, what the hell are you doing? Especially with that big microphone on. So with a lot of these shots that I'm getting the harsh contrast, it's with my intention that I'm gonna do a lot of the shaded light approach, and of course I'll be editing these with my Urban Chrome presets. Those are also linked in the description below where you can get a discount on those. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to be using the shaded lights 1 and 2, which create that like real dark contrast in the shadows and bring the highlights out, and just kind of create an interesting vibe. So I'm sort of thinking in my head of how I'm going to edit these already. And as an example, here's a before and after of one such shot, to see how that preset works. And yeah, you guys can use those too. So just to give you guys an idea of the temperature, so we've just passed 6 p.m. and we're still clocking at about 33-34 degrees Celsius. It is hot weather out here shooting, and of course carrying a backpack to house this camera is heavy work, but it's always worth it. It's definitely always worth it. So we've been out for a little while now, a couple of hours, and the light is just continuing to stay the same. It's just holding out really well. So I think we've still got another hour and a bit or so until proper sunset, and then we'll get into the blue hour, and I'm not sure where we'll end up for that point. Do you think you got some shots already? Yeah. We're just stopping for a little coffee break. What are we getting?
2 iced lattes.
This is really cool.
Photography is thirsty work.
It's good. I like it here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I've done actually. So I've set my exposure comp to like -3 for most of the shots, and that's just kind of preserving a lot of the highlights because it is pretty bright even with the ND filter on. And I also set my shutter to around 500, sometimes 1,000th of a second, and that's helped quite a bit. I think when I was doing autos, sometimes it would expose kind of incorrectly for some of the shadows. So this has just proved to make it more consistent, I guess. I also love the shot of the guy who was just stood there, almost standing asleep, just glazing himself in the sun. Stood there for ages. Yeah, look at him. Thank you very much.
Koreans and Japanese. Oh, it's a wonderful world, this place is.
It's that little coffee stop in Potter's Place. Just having a little chat with them afterwards. It's like a family-run business of artists. There's the lady who owns it. She makes aprons, she makes like purses and all sorts of things. Her husband makes furniture and paints. Her daughter makes ceramic mugs, and I'm assuming that's her son makes the coffee. It was good coffee too. They've really been open.
Open for 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
It's really good.
It's cute in there. I like it.
So cute.
The sun's kind of dipping below the buildings, and we're going to head now to Clan Jetties, which we've been told by our friends who live here is a great place to see the sunset and see some of the, I guess it's the ocean? Would it be the ocean? No, we're island side. So yeah, I guess probably the strait between Penang Island and the mainland. Gonna get a new profile picture for Elly at Elly Things. Link is in the description. Elly's just getting my thumbnail over there, and I'm talking to you guys whilst we're having it, so that you can get a sense for where it was taken. So we are on the Clan Jetty, or one of the Clan Jetties right now. I believe this is the longest one, and the sun has literally just peeked out from behind this building. Is that chimney? Yeah, it's a building. I thought it was a chimney, I couldn't see. And this place is glowing. It's lovely. There's a few other photographers up there, so we're clearly in a good place, I think, to get some images. It's reminding me of Tai O in Hong Kong, just people living on houses on stilts. It's, yeah, very interesting. So from the end of the jetty, we can see way over in the distance, that is, I believe, Penang Bridge, and then going over into mainland Malaysia. So of course Penang is on an island, and the rest of Penang State is over in there, as well as the rest of Malaysia, where we'll be heading to Kuala Lumpur. But we are going to be making a few more vlogs for Penang for the week that we're here, so make sure you do subscribe to catch those, and check out the links in the description as I mentioned before. And yeah, we will catch you in the next video. So thanks for watching, and I will see you later. Oh, before I end this, one more thing. So a few people have mentioned about Elly's X-E3 and what my opinions are. So if you want me to do a review on that, then leave a comment down below, and I'll just gauge some interest on whether you'd want to see a review on that, and potentially compare it to the X100F, because of course they are very similar cameras now that the X-E3 has been released. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I'll see how that goes, but I'll catch you in the next video. So thanks for watching everyone, see you later, bye bye.